Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. Mike, certainly not the result that you would hope to close the year, much like several other contests this year. Turnovers hamper your team early. What'd you see from the fight from your team, though, to finish out the year?
I think from a mentality standpoint, these guys have been great. They've been great encouragers of one another. They've always kind of stuck behind one another and kind of worked the fight. The problem is we just kind of still continue to make a lot of the mistakes that makes it, very critical.
Had turnovers. Your first 2 fumbles led to 13 Tusculum points. How backbreaking were those?
Those were really detrimental. Like, you can't win giving the ball to other people and giving them opportunities to score. The name of this game is to hold the football and put it in the end zone. And it takes opportunities away from us, like we talked about all year, and it puts it in their hands. And then we do it, we can give them short fields, which makes it even more detrimental.
This team has faced more than its fair share of adversity this year with injuries and all sorts of madness, especially on the offensive line up front. And even today, with your running backs coming into the game. How proud are you of this team to persevere and not stop through all of that?
That has been really tough. I mean, it's hard to play when you can't put a consistent unit on the field. One thing that's always important when you talk about playing good football is that continuity, up front with the line. Even quarterbacks and receivers, like this week, we practice most of the week without 2 of our running backs. And, we go have a good week, and then we have those guys that we can't use, and it throws off time. And so, we've got to find a way to get our guys, to the football games healthier.
What's your message to this team as they head into the offseason?
I think, number one, locker room, it was great to see, our guys love on our seniors. A lot of those guys haven't been here, over a super long period of time, but they still love one another. But, the message is there's some things we got to do different. We've got to become a better football team. We've got to develop some things from a mentality standpoint. We've got to be better fundamentally. We've got to do a better job, from an execution standpoint. We've got to be more disciplined. There's a lot of things that we've got to fix, and that has to happen.
What's your number one positive takeaway from a hard year?
The positive is we work with a great group of kids that's made a lot of strides, both on the field and off the field. And so, that's something I think we'll take away from the season and be really proud of. That's why I talk about the energy in the locker room where guys really love and care for one another.
Isn't that the Carson-Newman way?
That is the Carson-Newman way. That's what we're about. And then that's what, but then all of us still want to see it equate to, on the scoreboard. But that is what we're all about. And these guys are going to grow. They're going to get better. Even some of the older guys talking to those young guys about, what they expect from an ambitious standpoint.
All right, turn your attentions to the offseason. You talk about the strides this team needs to make. What's that process like as you turn toward full-time recruiting season?
Number one, you always got to be able to go recruit and build quality depth is what we've got to make sure we do out on the road. We've got to make sure we add guys, to this mix that can do the things that we need them to do, that can help us become a better football player. And, guys that'll come in and they'll compete, with the guys that we have. We always believe that competition is what makes us better. We talk about iron sharpening iron. And then the next standpoint, we've got to find a way to get healthier. We've got to find a way to be able to come out and guys get through a season of football. It's something that we're having a hard time doing right now.
All right, Mike Clowney, thanks for the time. Pleasure as always. One last Clowney show. Been a blast.
Been a blast, man.
All right, that's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Clowney. Domino's Post